What's going on, everybody? In today's video I'm going over a big stretch and GE Paintable Silicone Supreme. I figured I'd make this video because I've seen nothing on this all over the internet. I've been searching for a while now and no one had it done, so this one should help a few people. So basically what I have right here is I have the GE Silicone. I just put a bead out right now and a bead of big stretch. I'll have to edit the video and continue it tomorrow, and I'll show you how that performs. But so stay tuned for the end of the video to see that. But in the meantime, I'll compare the two with my own perspective and give you some tricks on to how to get really good caulking performance using the original Kramer tool, which is also made in Germany. I have a link to everything in the description, including the big stretch and the GE Paintable Silicone. So basically these are my go-to choices for high-end finishes and just jobs that, not jobs, but I do house flipping and whatnot, and I have my own property that I like to fix up, and using good products help the job come out much nicer and helps have the job get done much faster. So with that said, I started using big stretch recently and it's honestly amazing. I love the way it goes on and it's very easy to clean up. It's a urethane based. It doesn't have silicone, so that's why it's easier to clean. You can just put your finger and it comes right off. And it doesn't stain the wood, it doesn't leave residue, and it just goes on really nice. And that's really the one thing I don't like about it though is it does shrink, and that's one problem I had with this product, and I actually ended up liking that issue, and I'll actually show you an example. So this is actually a property that I own, and I redid all this trim, as you can see. And as you can see right here, I used big stretch to fill in all the bigger gaps first. I knew I would have to do a couple coats. That's why you see like a little spot here that I missed, but I wasn't trying to get everything at the first shot. So basically, once you fill it, it actually shrinks and caves in. Now, when that does, when that happens, I actually like that because it doesn't leave like a rounded contour inside, which gives it like a little bevel. This keeps it at a 90 degree. You might have to put 2 coats, but you're gonna keep that 90 degree look. I have some oil on my finger, that's why it's glossy right there. But yeah, so if you like that 90 degree look, the big stretch would be my go-to for all trim. Prior to that, I used to do GE Silicone Paintable, and what happens with that is it actually creates, like I said, a contour because the silicone is very thick. I actually did one spot in the closet. This is the GE Silicone, so if you can see, it kind of like creates a little curve, and I don't like that, especially when I'm trying to do a cleaner look. It got on the wall a little right here, so I have to clean that up a little bit. This is gonna get all primed and painted again. But if you can see over here, like on this wall, like over here, I filled in like the bigger gaps with the big stretch, and it contoured in a little bit. But one more coat should fix that perfectly, and you're gonna maintain that 90 degree. For the GE Paintable Silicone, this stuff works excellent. It's honestly better than the big stretch, but the only reason why I don't prefer it is because it takes a long time to basically spread it and make it perfectly without getting it all over the molding and making a mess. Now, some people are better skilled than others, but still it's not as convenient by just laying it down really quick with the big stretch and just using your finger, and it contours and goes into the grooves. But with the GE silicone, it kind of creates, you know, that curve. It doesn't shrink at all, which is a good thing in many cases. But if you just want that 90-degree look for like trim, I would really suggest a big stretch. And some tools to help this, if you want to use any of these caulkings, I would really recommend using a Kramer tool. This tool, this is the original version. I'll have the link in the description. This just makes applying caulk very easily if you want to do 90-degree corners, get that really crisp edge, or even get like this one has a 5 on it, so you get a nice, like a square corner beam. So I prefer that. I actually use that a lot. You can also comes with a tool to remove the caulking and many other corner applicators to get a really nice bead at different angles and whatnot. And another thing you're gonna need is a dripless gun. This is one of the best ones online. It's only like 10 bucks. It's highly rated. And yeah, so with that said, the GE silicone is UV resistant, it has a lifetime guarantee. It won't shrink, so whatever you put down, it stays as is, how you put it. Big stretch shrinks, so just keep that in mind, but you can achieve those 90-degree angles much easier. The reason why I use GE for everything, and I know it's a little extra, and this one's at $14 a bottle here in Boston area, Massachusetts. It's basically a permanent fix. Silicone will last forever. It doesn't break down. Urethane does. It will eventually, not anytime soon, but it does break down, especially with UV. GE is just the best of the best. You can obviously use Alex and all that stuff, but if you want stuff that lasts, these are the go-to. Next, I'll show you how these perform. All right, so this is actually 3 days later, and now I can show you the results. I just used this tool to disconnect it from the insulation, as you can see, and the big stretch. Big stretch is still a little sticky. As you can see, it pulled off some of the insulation paper, and the GE did not, but it was much harder to take off. I actually had to cut it off. As you can see, it's still on the insulation wrap while this pulled it off. Already I can tell that the GE is much more durable. It feels much more like resilient. When you press on it, it comes right back. This is really good for molding. So if you want to have nice corners and edge them, especially if you want to use something like this is made for silicone. This would be your best bet. When you put it, however you put it down, that's how it'll be. The big stretch, you know, when I press it, it comes right back as well. But yeah, it's just more stretchy. It's you can put your fingernails in it, but it's not as tough as the GE. But there's reasons for that. It doesn't have silicone inside. I do prefer this for trim, the big stretch, and now for the stretch. So it just snapped right there. And for the GE, it's harder to pull, but yeah, it snaps right there. That's GE. Big stretch. Yeah, so big stretch is just, it's not as tough, but it'll definitely stretch, and no joint's gonna stretch that amount. But yeah, that's my review, and thanks for watching. Check the info for all the products. I'll have everything you see here in the description, just in case you want to check it out. Thanks very much. Please subscribe.